Hello, thank you very much for the feedback thus far. I think I see that in the comment section. So what we'll do is that once we begin the training session, if you want to contribute, just raise show by hand, then we'll mute you just to make sure that at least we get things done properly. Thank you. Okay, and I think the 2 minutes I asked is also up. So true to my word, we go straight to what we need to do for today. Okay, so you are most welcome once again for today's session. And I'm glad I have most of my partners joining. And thank you all so much for making time for today. So I noticed that, again, I know most of you have made good investments onto this M3 Ss5 platform, all for the right reasons. And during the engagement, we told you all the good things that this platform provides. But again, unfortunately, it looks like our research shows that most of you are only able to make up to 10% of the full benefits that this brings. And as Microsoft Gold strategic partners, we feel it's our fiduciary responsibility to first, for our cherished partners, bring to light some of these things and help increase your proficiency on these platforms and the various apps that they present. So in that need, we organize this with you, and like you will notice with the various correspondents, we are doing this with your HR department or training department to make sure that we do this every fortnight, and we'll be picking the productivity tools in turn, and we'll delve into it to make sure that at the end of this program, productivity at your side is going to be heightened, because most of the things that you do that you struggle with lots of clicks will be reduced in one click. So thank you very much for teaming up with us, and thank you very much for being on this call. I'll just give a full overview of the M3 Ss5, then I hand over to our facilitator today. So the M3 Ss5 gives you a bit more, and I'll describe it in 3 phases. So first, we have the Microsoft Productivity and Collaboration Tools, which is almost more than 15 apps that you find. That includes your Teams, your Outlook, your SharePoint, Power Platform, several. And all these things are uniquely provisioned to be able to meet a particular business process need. So I'll leave it at that. Then we also have this platform, which could also be used as an intranet system or intranet portal. And that is just when you engage a technical person to do the appropriate customization. So if you are thinking of building huge servers, perhaps you don't need it with the right conversation. And all this thing can be done without you investing into any other silo technology. Then beyond this is business process automation, whether it is petty cash, whether it is leave management, whatever it is, whether it is a visitor log app, all these things can still again be provisioned on the platform by combining 1 or 2 technologies. And if we are even talking about, for any app, we will leverage on the Azure AD, which is your identity. We will leverage on sometimes forms on the very, very, very native apps to make sure that all these apps are now engineered to meet your business process automation. So I will not say much. Today's focus, we are going into the Microsoft Productivity Collaboration Tool, and in focus is the Teams app. So on this note, I'll introduce our facilitator for today, who is our lead engineer with the Microsoft Desktop, in the person of Carl Graham. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy today's session.
Okay, all right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Edmond, for the quick introduction. Good morning, everyone in this call. My name is Carl Graham. Then I'll be the lead facilitator. Can you please confirm if you can see my screen so that we can proceed? Okay, good. So I think most people have raise their hands, suggesting that they can see my screen. Okay, so as Edmond said, so this will be a series of training, and that will be organized as part of our multi-thread core mandate, to help our partners, boost their productivity in-house. So today, because we cannot deal with all the tools in one section, so we've broken down the sections into various sections. So today's section, okay, so basically, so today's section will be, so today will be the section 1, which is basically we'll be looking at the Microsoft team. So if you can see my screen, I have projected the program outline for today. So today we'll just be looking at Microsoft Teams. We will just look at the course and functionality of Microsoft Teams, and then we'll also look at the collaboration aspect, which is the Teams and channel aspect. So in the next 30 minutes, so I'll just demonstrate to you how you'll be able to maximize the core functionality in Microsoft Teams. And then I would also demonstrate how you're able to do collaborate also in Microsoft Teams too as well. So this is the outline for today's section. So one would even ask, normally what I do is that before you can be able to maximize Microsoft Teams, there's one critical question that you must ask, that what is it Microsoft Teams at all? How would you be able to do that at all? So let me quickly share a slides. Okay. All right. Okay, good. So in my slide, I have categorized Microsoft Teams into 4 components. So one aspect of Microsoft Teams is the chat. There is another aspect, which is the meet. There's also another aspect, which is the call. Then there's also another aspect, which is the collaboration. So in all, I have just formed an acronym, which is CMCC. So basically, you chat, you basically meet, you call, and then you do the collaboration. So when it comes to the chat, so you use the chat to to share your opinion with your colleague. Ordinarily in a corporate environment or in a corporate something, people make use of emails and all that. And sometimes the emails can become very bulky, because before you send an email, you then need to also wait for a response before you can get whatever information that you need. So that is why there's a chat aspect. So you can make good use of the chat aspect in Microsoft Teams. So if I need a quick information from a colleague, there's no need for me to send an email. So I can just have a chat with a colleague and just pick whatever information that I need. So that is why we have the chat aspect too as well. Then there's also the another aspect, which is the meet aspect. So the meeting now, because of COVID, now people do online meetings and all that. So that is why you have the Teams, which is available onto you. So you can use the meeting aspect of Microsoft Teams to organize meeting. And then the amazing thing is that the meeting can take up to 10,000 participants. So if your organization and then you have a partners more than 200, more than 300, you can make good use of the meet aspects, to bring all your partners on board. Then there's a call aspect. Nowadays, people do a lot of calls. So you can do a one-on-one call with a colleague. You can do an audio conferencing and all that. And then you can also do a group calling. So you can have an aspect whereby you can do a group calling. So if you want to speak to more than 2 people, either in your organization or outside of your organization, then you can make good use of the calling, because it is available on all the mobile and platforms as well. So you can even use that, sort of using your WhatsApp to do corporate calls. You can make good use of the Teams. Okay, that is being available on mobile devices to make these calls. Then there's also the collaboration aspect. So if you want to, if you are working on a particular project, because this is a project, then that means that you must bring one or two. That means that you must put up your teams together. So you can make good use of the collaboration aspect, to create a team and also work together. So this is the four main component of Microsoft Teams. At least this is to also help you, or this is also to inform you on how you can make good use of the teams. Okay, so I'll quickly jump now that I've spoken about it. So let's see, the teams being in this in action. And because of our main outline is to look at the chat, and also is to look at the collaboration aspect. So I'll go into a live environment whereby I will demonstrate how you're able to make good use of all the components that I've spoken about. And please note that I'm sure that most of you guys are already using Teams already, so you might be quite familiar with some of the features. So this is therefore to serve as let's say referrals. So at least it is better that we also need to refresh our memories a bit. So this is just there for you to also serve as a referral. So those that they are already quite familiar with it, you can take note of that as well. Okay. So this is basically the Teams interface. So now there are three ways which you can access your Microsoft Teams. So one is the Teams client, or that's the Teams that you install on your desktop. Another way is that you use the web version. And then another also is the Teams on your mobile devices. So you can join, or you can have Teams on your mobile devices. You can have the Teams on your tablet. You can have your Teams on your desktop as well. So in a scenario, whereby you don't have your PC available, but then you want to join a team, then you can use the Teams on the web to also access Teams. It's just that the difference between the two is that with the web version, you get limited features. Okay, so on my Teams, before that, I talk about the various components. So you see that on my Teams, for instance, that is on my extreme left hand side, we have the charts. Okay, so I made mention of the charts. Then we have the Teams version. So the chat is for one I just information from a colleague. Then you can just use the chat aspect to also do that. Then there's a Teams. So I made mention of my acronym, which is a CMCC. So the last part of the C, that's a collaboration. So if you want to do any form of collaboration in Teams, you then use the Teams that you are seeing here. Then there's a calendar bit as well. So the calendar bit is for meetings. Now you want to schedule a meeting, you want to do a live event, you want to organize a live webinar, all these things. So you use the calendar option here. And then there's the course aspect. So the course is for your one-on-one course, the audio calling and all that. Then you see an extra feature here. So that is the file. The amazing thing is that now, because it is Office 365 package, and then so what Microsoft has done is that it has linked your OneDrive files to your Microsoft team. So instead of going to your OneDrive to access your OneDrive files, then one way you can also do that is for you to use the file section here. So if I go to the file section here, I can see all the files that I can see my OneDrive here. And then I can also see all the files that I have shared. Because this account is not an active account, I'll switch to my active account. Then I will show you what I am. So let me quickly, okay, good. Now this is my live account. So in my live account, okay, so if I go to my files, for instance, so I have my files here. So I can locate whatever files that I have shared with my colleague in-house. So this is a good reference point for me if I want to locate any files or any document that I have shared with a colleague. And then I also have my cloud storage here, so I can directly be in Teams, then I can access whatever files that I want. So you see that within Teams, you can also, aside you using the Teams to do your various calls, your various meetings and all that, you can also leverage on Teams to access your cloud storage files. Okay, quickly, let me just jump. All right, so in today's section, we just look at the course aspect. So I'll go to the course section. I'll demonstrate the calling aspect. Okay, by calling a colleague in-house, then we see the various options that will be available for us if you are doing a call, if you are making a call. Okay, so I think I have Obed here. But in the meantime, if someone, in order for us to make the section very interactive, if someone asks a question, the person can or type the question in the chat window, or probably you can also raise your hands. I can pause, then unmute your mic so that you can ask your question, so that it will make the session very interactive. So I am calling a colleague. Okay, so I am seeing one person. Okay, so I've seen one person has raised their hand. So the person can ask the question so that okay, let me quickly. Okay, so Peter, let me allow Peter. Okay. All right, so Peter, you can ask your question. Okay, good. All right, so okay, let me pick Peter's question in the chat window. Okay, yeah, so Peter's question is, why is the call limited to only 1 hour? It is only 1 hour because the section is for only 1 hour section. The organizers of this section made it to 1 hour, but it doesn't mean that after 1 hour the call will cut, basically. So that's what it does. Okay, good. All right, so let me quickly. So I am currently on a call with Obed. I have triggered a call with Obed. So if you are on a call with Obed, you have various options available to you. So I can pick the chat window, for instance. Okay, so there's the chat here. I can have a chat with Obed. Okay, so I can have a chat. So while we are speaking, we can still be having a conversation, and then I can also do a collaboration with also Obed. So now, because if there's a particular document that I want Obed to work on it, but then he would require my input. So what I'll then do is that I can just pick the file here. So I'll quickly pick a file. I'll quickly pick a file from here. I'll share the file, then we see how we'll be able to do a collaboration. Okay, so you just see how you're able to pick. You see how you're able to quickly pick the file and just work on it. So I'll just create, let me just create a simple document here. Okay, so MICTS as my simple document. So what I'm doing is that I want to demonstrate the importance of doing a collaboration with a colleague, even though you are having a one-on-one conversation with a person. So what I'll do is that let me open the documents. Then after opening the document, I'll just type something in the document. And then you see how you're able to do a collaboration while you are on a call with your colleague. Then from there, we'll just move on to add additional person and see what will happen. Whether if the third party will see my previous conversation that I've already had with Obed. Okay. So let me quickly do a test. Yeah. Okay. This is a test. Okay. Okay. All right. So let me quickly save this document. Okay. So okay. So let me quickly save this document. All right. So this document is saved. I will then try to upload the document again. Then we see how we're able to do the collaboration with. Okay. All right. So Obed, you can open the file while we do there's a collaboration on it. Okay, so I have sent the document to Obed. Okay, so I then get a prompt that I have sent the document to him. So I would open the document together. So I am still on a call with Obed. So Obed would open the file at his end. Then we will see how you able to do the collaboration. Okay. Okay. So Obed, can you confirm for us if you're able to open the document? Yes, please, I'm opening it. All right, okay. Okay, so you see, because I am on a call with Obed, and then Obed has opened the document at his end. So you see, beside the copy link, you are seeing the name of Obed, which is saying that Obed has opened this document. So I'll try and type something, while Obed will also type something, and see what will happen. Okay, and let's see what will happen if Obed also pick a section of the particular document and also starts typing on it. Then you see, okay. So you see that Obed just typed something. Okay. And you are seeing that he is still typing something on the documents. Okay, which is, I will check this document out. Okay. So that is just you having or you doing the collaboration with a colleague. Now, after you've done the collaboration and then I see that everything is fine, I can save the document and just move on.
Okay, so just to bring it home, So basically, you are working on a large proposal document. You have the executive summary, you have the table of content, you have the technical document. What you can do is that per the illustration, all of you can share one document and have the relevant or the responsible parties work on each section, and it will all be playing live. And whatever contribution you have on each section of the document, you guys can be doing it, which is a very, very brilliant tool if you are being pressed for time and you need to be able to simultaneously organize a document and review at the same time. Okay, Carl, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Edmond, for your input. Okay, so while we are still working, we realize that we need an input from someone. So what basically do is that I just want to, so I would add another person to this call, because from what we are doing, we realize that we lack certain skills, and then we would require an input from instance, a colleague. So let me pick a colleague and call the person. So I am picking someone. Okay, so let me call Ayi and see what will happen. Okay, so I have triggered a call to me. All right, okay, good. So me has joined. So now you are now on a call now. Now this is what would happen. Because me was not involved in our previous conversation. So whatever conversation that we've had, me will not be privy to it. So that is also another thing that you should also take notice of. On the screen of me will not see the previous discussions. So when me goes to the chats, me will not see the previous chats that I have had with Obed. So if you want to go over again, then we can just start the conversation again all over again. But while at it, we can also still share the document with me, and then we can all collaborate on it together. So that is how you'll be able to just do a group calling. So you've seen how you'll be able to do a one-on-one call and do collaboration together, and then also you've seen how you'll be able to add a third party to have a chat. So now what happens is that, because you need to also take notice is that if you add any third party to a conversation, whatever conversation that you've had previously, the person will not be privy to it. So that is something that you must take notice of. Okay. Is there any question so far? Or probably you can also type your questions so that it becomes very interactive. That. So what I'll do is that I'll remove me from the meeting, then I'll go back, to the previous, and then I'll go back to the previous section. So in this section, okay, so in this previous section, now I've now gone back to my previous audio calling with Obed. Now let's see the options that is available for us. Now as part of the calling in Teams, you have the option to do a transfer. So for instance, Obed gives a call to me, then he needs a particular help. But then I realized that, well, I cannot offer the help that he needs. So what then do I do? Then there's that option to do a transfer. So in doing a transfer, you have two options. It is either you consult, or you can just do the transfer. Now, the difference between the two is that you don't want to transfer a call to someone without without a third party, not in the known. So that is why if I want you to be in the known before I transfer the call to you, that in that case you do a consult and transfer. So by doing the consult and transfer, by doing the consort and transfer, what I'm basically doing is that I'm letting you know before I am transferring the call to you. So I'll end this call right now. Then I'll call Obed again. Then we see how you're able to. Then we demonstrate how you able to do the call transfers. So that is another feature that you can also use in your environment. So if someone want to see a top management or even probably want to see the CEO or something, then you can just have a policy that okay, so before you be able to speak to your CEO, you just talk to the PA before you be able to just speak to the CEO. So I have called Obed. Okay. So now let's see. So let's see the option that is available to me. So you see that there is a transfer, and there is also the consort and transfer. That I told earlier on. So the transfer is that once I do the transfer, I will initiate a transfer. So what the transfer is saying is that now I have that option. That okay. So I'm doing the transfer without the person's knowledge. Now what would happen is that it may be that if I do the transfer, the person will not pick up. So you have that option that there's a ring back if there's no answer. So what is basically saying is that call me back if the person doesn't pick the call. Okay, so that is the option here. Now let me type me again, and let me quickly transfer Obed call with me, and let's see what will happen. So I have that option here. So ring back if there's no answer. So if I do the transfer, or if I transfer the call to me, I have that option to say ring back. So that means that if I'm doing the transfer and then me doesn't pick up, then that means that you should call me back so that I'll be able to speak with Obed. You have that option here. So for now, let me just take it off, and then I'll just do the transfer. So once I'm doing that, you see that it is transferring the call. Now, when the call is being transferred, then I'll be out of the call. So that means that I will no longer be in the call again. So then you see I have left the call. So now the call is now between Obed, and the call is between Obed and me. Okay, good. So that is the transfer. So that is a transfer. And then let's then demonstrate the consort and transfer. So Obed, if you are still on call with me, you can just okay, good. So I'm calling Obed again. So let's see let's see what will happen if I do a consort and transfer. Okay, so I'm calling Obed again. All right, so Obed has picked the call. Then I'm doing a consort then transfer. Then let's see what would happen. So I'm still doing the transfer to me. Okay, and I type. All right, good. Okay. So if you are doing the transfer, you have two options. Now, either to have a chat with the person, or you can call the person. So you see there's a call aspect here. Now I want to do the audio call so that at least I can call me and tell okay, me Obed is in need of something. So can you please help me out? So I'll then do the Teams audio call. So when I initiate that, what will happen is that it will place Obed on hold. So I'll be calling Obed I'll be calling Niai right now. Then I'll speak to Niai, and then you'll see what will happen after us. Okay. Let's see whether Niai will pick my call. Okay. So Niai didn't pick. Let me initiate the call quickly again. Okay, let me quickly initiate the call again. So let me quickly initiate the call again. All right, okay. Okay, so let me do the consorts and then transfer. That puts my call with Obed on hold. Okay, so I want to just do a Teams audio quickly. Okay, so let's see what will happen. Okay, so I am now on a call with me. Okay, so I am now on a call. So I can tell Nia that okay, so now Obed needs a help. So if Nia is available, then I'll then transfer the call to him. So now that I have the call, now that I have informed informed Nia of the transfer, and then he also accepts it, then I can just do the transfer. So you see that on the you see that there's an option here, transfer at the top. So I'll just do the initiate. So you see that then it is transferring the call to Obed. Then I get the option that the transfer is complete. Then my call then with Obed hangs up. Then I've transferred the call with from how do you call it with from Obed to Niai. I have demonstrated. So that is something that you can incorporate in-house so that people does not abuse. And mind you that it will also work for those who are not in the organization. So if probably you want your external parties who are using Teams, you can also initiate this call for them. There's one other feature that is available. What you can do is that you can take advantage of Microsoft Teams to eliminate your PBS telephone system that you have in-house. Now, currently, every offices has their own PBS phone system. You can have that option, or you can use Teams as well to also eliminate your PBS system. And it is very effective in a way that even if you are not in office and someone calls you or someone calls your office line, it will become available. The person would receive it. So I can be at home, I can be in Dubai, I can be in London and all that. Then someone will call my office line number, and that number will be transferred to my team. So that is something that is another functionality of the Teams call that you can also take advantage of. But what will happen is that would also come at a cost. So if someone is also interested in that feature or in that functionality, the person can get back to us on that aspect. Okay. So after doing that, you just bring the team score section to an end. If there's any question, I can pick those questions, then we just move on. Okay. Okay. Yes. So Peter was saying that is there no way the other third party can see the previous messages? No, there's no way that the previous, because it is a one-on-one chat that you had with the person. What you are doing that you'll be breaking, how do you call it, privacy. So that is why there's no way for you to, because basically what it is that I initiated a one-on-one listen call with you. So if I had that one-on-one chat with you, and then another third party joins in, and the third party also gets access to it, then that will break this interrupt. privacy. So that is why it is not good, or it is not this thing that a third party will see it. Okay. Yeah. So let me quickly run through the second aspect, which is the teams and channel. Okay. So in my intro, I made mention of the teams being able to collaborate. Now, the collaboration aspect of Microsoft Teams is the Teams aspect. So on my left-hand side, I see the Teams aspects here. Okay. So now, what does it mean to do a collaboration? Now, a collaboration means that you want to bring two different people together, or more than one person together, and just collaborate, or just work on a different project. So that is why we have the team there. So because it is a collaboration purposes, so what you do first is that you create a team first. So by creating a team, it means that you are creating a group. Just like you all sometimes create a WhatsApp group, to achieve a particular goal, even a particular objective. So that is why if you are doing a collaboration, your first point of contact is to create a team. So I'll create a team. Okay, so I'll create a team. Now Microsoft have updated the process such that now you can create a team from various templates. So if you are creating a team for an event, okay, so you see that there's an event template here. If you are creating a team to manage a project, so you see that there's a manage this in your project here. So these are all templates that has been created so that if someone is trying to create a team, and then the template matches what you intend doing, then instead of you creating it from scratch, then what you do is that you just pick on a particular project, or you just pick on a particular template and just create it from. Now what I will do is that I would create a team from scratch. Then from creating a team from scratch, then I'll come and create a team from a template, so that you will see the difference between creating it from scratch and also creating it from from a template. Now, those who have an existing Office 365 tenant, okay, so you are seeing that you have that option to create the team from a group. Now, assuming that in your Office 365 environment, you've created any group at all, then what you can do is that you can create your team from a group. So I'll create my team from scratch. Okay, so because it is a private group, so you have that option to whether create a private group or this is a public group. Now the difference between the two is that if it is a private group, then that means that I must add you before you can become a member. Okay, so I'll create a private group. Then I'll give my private group a name. Okay, so let me just do a test for now. Okay. All right. So I am creating it from scratch. Okay, so I am creating it from scratch. So I'll start by typing someone in it. Okay. Quickly, let me quickly add members to it. Okay, quickly. So that's quickly. All right. Done. Let me just add and just close it. So this is my team that I have created from scratch. Now you could see, or you could realize that by the team that I have created, I'm seeing general here. So in Teams, there's something we call channels. So channels are conversations, and channels are these conversations. So the general channel that we are seeing here, it is a conversation channel. So that means that as a group that we have created, now we can start a conversation, and that conversation can be about the welfare of a part or the welfare of that part of our group in general. Now, because it is a group or because it is a collaboration group that we've created, the assumption is that if you are part of a team, or let me pick this a football team, for instance. Now, in a football team, they form a team, and in that team, they have goalkeepers, they have midfielders, then they have this strikers. The same as if you come to in a organization, even though a group of people can be in a finance department. In the finance department, there are those that they do payroll. There are those that they do this kind of work. So that is why you have the channels available. So in order for you to make your team effective, then what you do is that you create channels so that you can manage the group. So if I click beside the name of my group or the name of my team, for instance, there is a add channel here, so I can come and add a channel to it. So the channel is you, or is me trying to group the conversation. So now I want to create a channel that would manage live events. Okay, so I want to create a channel that will create live event. So what would happen is that this channel will be used to create live event. Now the amazing thing is that there is a privacy. So the fact that you are part of my team doesn't mean that you should be part of my live events team. So if that is the case, then I can create a private channel. So the private would mean that I'm creating a channel, but it will be only accessed by only Obed. So if I quickly add Obed to it, then Obed will become privy to see the live event. So it is locked. So Obed will become privy to see a live event. But me, I will not be able to see this live event that I've created. So that's how you can use the channels to also manage a team. So you see that the interface is the same as the in general. So I can start a conversation. Okay, then if I type any this in here, they can respond. I can have that option to also do a meet. That is, I want to meet my team. They can respond to my a conversation. There's a file with option here. I can upload a document to it. So the same goes for the live event too as well. So I can start a conversation. So that is how you're able to use the teams to manage to be able to manage your team. So you've seen that I've created a team, and then I have also created a channel. So note that if you are creating a channel means conversation, because it is important that if you are creating a group, you group your group by this a conversation. So that is why you are seeing that there's that channel options there. Okay, so let me pick a question so that if okay, so yeah, Jeffrey has a question. So Jeffrey, you can ask your question. Okay, so Jeffrey has raised his hand. Let me allow Jeff. Oh yeah, Jeff, you can ask your question. You can unmute yourself and ask your question, Jeffrey.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, man, it's a good presentation. Actually, I have a question on just regarding this Teams. Well, it's happened that I have a friend of mine invited me on Meet, on Teams, Teams,
Okay.
and then after that, when I create my own, when I install my own Teams, I couldn't delete him from the, anytime when I try to log to my Teams, I always see him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I always see him, or I always see his name like on my Teams.
Okay.
So I don't know how to delete him, like,
Okay, so he created a team. If I get your question right, he created a team. So you guys are not in the same organization. He's an external party.
He's the one did add me to his own Teams.
His teams. Okay, good. And then you so you can see his, but you want to take yourself out from his organization.
Exactly. So anytime when I log to my Teams, I always see him, and Teams give me two options. One
Yeah.
is the personal, and one is his name associated
Yeah.
to the Teams.
Yeah. Okay, good. So that's a good question. It's because he added you as an external party, and then when you are joining, it's because he added you as a guest account. So if you have been added as a guest account, that means that automatically you are part of his organization. So if you want to take yourself out of that, how do you call that organization? So you have two options. So one, on the Teams client, you see I have here, so this is my organization here.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you see that in my organization, as part of me being in my organization here, so you see that there's an advanced international. So
Yeah.
they have added me as a guest. All right.
Okay.
So they have added me as a guest. So if I want to take myself out from that guest account, then there's an option here for me. And I go to manage accounts. Okay, then there's this guest accounts here. Let me um, okay, so I go to manage accounts. So you have two options. So it is either he takes you off, from the guest account directly. So there should be this option here, for instance. Okay, let me see. Quickly. This is okay. So I have to log into my account online. So when you log into your account online, you see that option to take yourself out of this thing, organization. Exactly. So log into your account online. Then you see the process I showed you. There's that option to take yourself out.
Okay, Carl, thank you very much. It's been a good time. Unfortunately, the structure for the call, we've come into a gentleman agreement with the organization, HR or any department in charge of training to keep this to 1 hour. And we'll do that strictly so it does not affect your day-to-day work. Now, with that said, I just published some posts that I think you guys can just click on it, and all this is running very live on the Teams. So this tells you that the Teams app has boundless functionalities, and we intend to bring it to your doorstep as we go. Unfortunately, because we are demonstrating everything step by step, we were just able to scratch the surface, which is very unfortunate. But we are not also in a hurry to just run through this. We want to make sure that the concepts are well grasped and you are able to feature some of these things that you've learned in your day-to-day to just improve activity. On this note, if there are any questions, you can type it in the comment section. We know your emails, we respond to you. If there are, you can also respond to the form quickly. Then I think we bring today's session to a close. But I'll take any comment from any of you, maybe final words from just one person. Then we call it a day today. Thank you very much once again for joining. Okay, so in the absence of any comments, thank you so much for joining our masterclass session today, the focus on teams, and we hope to send another invite for the next session. Thank you so much for today, and the best of the day.